Looking for a motion sensor floodlight and completely lost with all the options out there? I get it. I have spent way too many hours comparing these things, so you do not have to. And honestly, picking the wrong one can mean either blinding your neighbors every night or having a sensor that triggers every time a leaf blows by. Neither sounds great, right? So let me walk you through the 7 best hardwired options right now, each one perfect for a different situation. All the links are down in the description, by the way. Let us get into it. First up, the Philips 72 watts. And look, this thing is an absolute beast. We are talking 7,400 lumens at 5,000 Kelvin daylight, which basically means it turns your backyard into a football stadium. The aluminum body with cooling fins handles all that power without breaking a sweat, and the 3 adjustable heads let you point light exactly where you need it. But here is what I really love about this one. It has 4 modes, including a manual override that keeps it on at 80% for up to 6 hours. So picture this. You are throwing a backyard party, it gets dark, and instead of everyone squinting around trying not to trip over the cooler, you just flip that override and boom, your whole yard is lit up perfectly for the rest of the night. The motion sensor reaches up to 69 feet, which is honestly ridiculous range. Now, this much brightness is designed for people with larger properties or anyone who wants maximum security coverage. If you have close neighbors, you will want to aim carefully. But for big yards, long driveways, or rural properties where you have room to breathe, this is the one to beat. Alright, but what if you do not need to light up half an acre? The Lepower 30 watts is where smart money goes for most suburban homes. At 3,200 lumens with a crisp 5,500 Kelvin color temperature, it hits that sweet spot where you can clearly see who is coming up your driveway without making your backyard look like a prison yard. And here is what genuinely surprised me at this price point. Aluminum housing. Most budget lights cheap out with plastic that gets brittle and yellow after a couple summers in the sun, but not this one. The detection covers 72 feet at 180 degrees, matching specs from lights that cost twice as much. There is a filter lens over the LEDs that softens the glare nicely, which your eyes will thank you for when you step outside at night. One tip though, if you live somewhere with heavy rain or harsh winters, adding some silicone sealant around the mounting base during install is a smart move that will keep moisture out. For standard driveways, side yards, or anywhere you want reliable light without the premium price, this absolutely delivers. Now watch out for the next one because it might be my favorite on this list. The Lutec 72 watt matches that massive 7,500 lumen output at 5,000 Kelvin. But here is where it gets really interesting. You know those tiny little dials on most lights where you need a flashlight just to read what setting you are on? Lutec ditched those completely. Instead, you get big, clearly labeled slide switches. Low, medium, high for distance. 1, 3, or 10 minutes for timing. No guesswork, no squinting while you are standing on a ladder in the dark. The 3-head design is crazy flexible too. I mean, you can practically wrap light around a corner with this thing. Imagine you have an L-shaped backyard with that annoying blind spot where the fence meets the garage. Mount this at the corner. Angle 1 head down the fence line, another across the patio, third toward the gate. Complete coverage from one single fixture. The die-cast aluminum build feels solid and inspires confidence, and you get all the modes including manual override. The included mounting screws run a bit long for some older electrical boxes, so keeping a few shorter ones handy is not a bad idea. But for corner lots or tricky yard layouts, the flexibility here is genuinely unmatched. Okay, shifting gears to something completely different. The Onforu 75 watt is pure utilitarian muscle, and it makes no apologies for that. It pumps out 7,500 lumens at 6,500 Kelvin, which is a noticeably cooler, more bluish-white light. This creates that intense, no-nonsense illumination that is perfect when you care more about function than aesthetics. Think back alleys, storage areas, that detached workshop where you just need everything bright. The 3-panel design throws a wall of light rather than focused beams. And here is a clever touch that I appreciate. They include a physical cap for the sensor. So if the motion detection ever annoys you, or you just want a simple switch-controlled floodlight, pop that cap on and done. No electrical modifications needed. The trade-off with that 6,500 Kelvin temperature is colors can look slightly different on security camera footage compared to warmer lights, and the sensor is rated for splashes rather than full waterproofing, so covered locations are ideal. For anywhere maximum brightness per dollar is the priority, this thing delivers serious value. And you know what the best part is about the next one? The Lutec 32 watts is basically the perfect neighbor-friendly option. At 3,500 lumens and 5,000 Kelvin, it gives you genuinely useful security lighting without turning your property into an aircraft landing strip. The dual-head aluminum design keeps things compact and clean-looking, and here is the key thing that sets it apart from cheaper options in this range. It still has that manual override feature. A lot of brands strip that out of their smaller models to push you toward the expensive ones, but Lutec kept it. That makes a real difference when you want steady light for an evening on the patio instead of it clicking on and off every time someone shifts in their chair. Detection reaches 59 feet with 180-degree coverage, which handles most suburban yards no problem. Compared to the Lepower, you are stepping up to better build quality and getting that override capability for just a modest bump up. For townhouses, subdivision homes, or anywhere you want security without annoying neighbors, this strikes the ideal balance. The Philips 44 watts is honestly one of the most interesting options here because it occupies this sweet spot that not many lights hit. You get 4,200 lumens at 5,000 Kelvin with probably the most refined appearance of anything on this list. If curb appeal matters to you and this light will be visible from the street, the sleek modern design actually looks attractive instead of industrial. But it is not just pretty. The optical engineering inside creates a remarkably even wash of light instead of that typical bright hot spot in the center with dark edges around it. The motion sensor still reaches 69 feet despite the smaller size, and the photocell transitions smoothly at dusk without that annoying flickering cheaper units love to do. You get all 4 modes including manual override, wrapped in IP65 waterproof aluminum that holds up well even in coastal salt air. Like any integrated LED fixture, the whole unit needs replacing if the driver ever fails rather than just swapping a bulb, but the build quality suggests that is a long way off. For front entries, garage facades, anywhere the light needs to look as good as the illumination it provides, this is the sophisticated choice. And finally, the Orein 26-watt kind of blew me away with its efficiency numbers. This thing produces 3,500 lumens while only drawing 26 watts, which works out to about 135 lumens per watt. That is genuinely exceptional. But the real standout feature is the 3 active joints arm system that lets you twist and angle these heads in practically any direction, including pointing them backwards. Got a weird mounting spot under a deep eave or some odd angled corner? This handles it. The mode selection uses a red button that cycles through options with the light flashing to confirm, so you always know exactly what setting you selected. The polycarbonate housing is impact resistant and will not corrode like cheap metal, though aluminum would handle heat dissipation slightly better. The included screws are pretty basic, so grabbing some quality hardware separately is worth doing. For rental properties, efficiency-focused homeowners, or challenging installation spots, this combination of low power draw and mounting flexibility is hard to beat. Alright, let me help you pick the right one. If you want maximum brightness for a large property, the Philips 72 watts or Lutec 72 watts are your contenders, with Philips winning on light quality and Lutec winning on easier controls. For typical suburban homes where neighbor relations matter, the Lutec 32 watts or Philips 44 watts are ideal, and the Philips looks better on visible locations. Need solid performance on a budget? Lepower 30 watts. Want pure functional brightness for workspaces or commercial areas? Onforu 75 watts. And for efficiency or tricky mounting spots? Orein 26 watts. Links for everything are in the description. Tell me in the comments which one fits your setup. See you in the next one.